Welcome back to NASCAR Prediction with Luke and Bob. We're back in action.
I've seen so many faces, but not to compare to this show of all the amazing shows in the world. Hold on.
I climbed the highest truck. Who's counting? Nothing, just purple hills. Okay.
Technical difficulties. And by the way, they said who's counting? I was the one that was counting every freaking show we did back in the day. So, hello, we haven't seen you guys in forever. Actually, we've never seen you, but you've seen us. So, we just...
You really haven't seen us either.
Yeah, we're talking to ourselves. So, I don't know. We just wanted to come back and talk about the 2008 NASCAR season as a whole.
Yep, so we're going to do the first 26 races, then the final 10 races, then
declare a champion, and you can't be seen. So, yeah, we're going to declare a champion, and maybe it's a record time.
And why not start out for the Daytona 500?
What?
The Daytona 500.
So, we started off with Dale Jr. winning the Bud Shootout in his first race in Hendrick, which was very anticipated. Then, I don't even know what else happened. But Ryan Newman won the Daytona 500.
By passing Tony on the closing laps.
Yes, sir. The Dominator was Kyle Busch, but he got shuffled back to fourth. Next was California. I don't even think we're going to get through all these races, but we're going to get your hopes up. California was Edwards. The main thing of that race was Casey Mears got flipped over by Hornish. Going into the year, the two rookie contenders were Hornish and Regan Smith. So we'll tell you who won that one. Las Vegas was Edwards, was Edwards winning again. Jeff Gordon took a very hard hit down the backstretch. Ow! Caught in the wall.
Going for the lead.
Going for the lead. Atlanta was Kyle Busch getting Toyota's their first ever win. Then it was Bristol. Let's see what happened at Bristol. Oh, Tony Stewart got wrecked by Harvick, and Jeff Burton won. Martinsville. What the hell happened at Martinsville? I'm pretty sure Johnson won, but that might be wrong. Oh boy. This is where I need the sheet. Texas, Michael McDowell almost killed himself in qualifying. How the hell did he do that?
In qualifying? I don't know. That's bullshit.
Okay. Edwards won Texas. Phoenix, Johnson won on fuel mileage. It took till Phoenix for Hendrick cars to win. I'm struggling. There were California. What's there? When the hell? No, I already said California. Yeah. What's around? Richmond happened. That was the most controversial race of the season, perhaps, with Dale Jr. going for his first win in Hendrick Motorsports, besides the Bud Shootout, and Kyle Busch wrecked him. And Kyle Busch didn't even win. Clint Boyer got the win. What else?
And the early season dominator in points was Kyle Busch.
Yes, he took the lead after like the third race or so, and
he never looked
back until Richmond, when the chase began after Richmond. But yeah, Kyle Busch through the first 26 races won 8 times, way more than any other driver. Edwards was also very good, and Johnson was pretty good too. So going into the chase, you could tell that those three were probably going to be the ones to beat. What else? What other races happened? We had Infineon, Kyle Busch.
How about New Hampshire?
New Hampshire.
Payback the bitch.
What are you talking about?
Oh, was it Richmond?
Oh, we'll get to that.
Okay.
But yeah. Well, speaking of New Hampshire, Kurt Busch won a New Hampshire race by staying out after Tony Stewart dominated, staying out when it rained. So Kurt Busch won. Michael Waltrip second.
Michael Waltrip could have won that race too.
Yes, if they would have run green for like 5 more laps. In that race, Kyle Busch and Montoya were wrecking each other under caution.
The rivals this season, we had a couple of rivals. We had Edwards rivaling with Kyle Busch after Bristol.
Bristol was interesting.
Kyle Busch led over 450 laps.
He led from lap 50 to 50 to go.
And he was going to win this race, but then Kyle Busch decided to do the old, Edwards decided to do the old management bump and run.
Bump and run, and believe me, I was mad. Because I'm a Kyle Busch fan, and by the way, yes, I transferred from a Bobby Bonnie fan to a Kyle Busch fan, which doesn't really happen much in people's lives, but Bobby Bonnie, he fed me up, and I moved on. And I moved on to Kyle Busch, and if you look around my room, he's everywhere. So anyway, but Edwards got in the back of Kyle Busch, and Kyle finished second. Never could get back to Edwards until after the race, when he plowed into the side of him twice, and Edwards said, no, no, no. And he spun him out, and the fans were going nuts, because no one likes Kyle Busch, but me. So, Casey Kane had a streak of good races. He won the Coke 600. He won the All-Star race, which I wouldn't even consider a race, because there was no cautions. There was no storylines at all. I don't even think anyone got penalized on pit lane. That's how boring this race was. I don't know. So, yeah, I think of do changes, but I think it was because of it was the first ever race for the car tomorrow at Lowe's, so maybe that has something to do with it. And by the way, yes, this season was full of car tomorrow. Every race was car tomorrow. Oh, there's all the races right here. Let me see what I didn't go over. Talladega, the first Talladega race, Kyle Busch won under caution after a big wreck. He almost wrecked with McMurray on the backstretch. As mentioned, Richmond, Darlington, Kyle Busch won. See, Kyle Busch is just all over the place this year. Let's see, Dover. What happened at Dover? Oh my God! First race of the Dovers. I don't know what I'm even saying. Hold on a second, sir. I don't even remember what happened at Dover. Oh, Kyle Busch won at Dover. Oh, can you stop reading, please? Kyle Busch won after a big lap 16. There was a huge wreck with Elliott Sadler and Tony Stewart and those guys.
How about Watkins Glen?
Oh boy, Watkins Glen.
The big wreck and the...
Oh my God, there was Watkins Glen, Kyle Busch, was Dale Jr. They were, because we were there, so we saw it up close. Be jealous.
Be jealous, man.
There were a lot of hotties. Yeah, Kyle Busch ended up winning Watkins Glen, but there was a big wreck on the front stretch. Hornet smashing the pit wall, by the body limping. Dave Blaney. Let's see, Michigan, Dale Jr. It took Dale Jr. till Michigan to win his first race after like staying out and the caution coming out and stuff like that. But he finally won. It was only win of the year. Coke 0400, my favorite race of the year, I think, with Kyle Busch winning like under caution with Edwards right next to him. Jeff Gordon had probably the best car, if not by Kyle Busch, and he got spun on a restart, just like back in 2002 Daytona 500 with Dale Jarrett and I don't know, stuff like that. But there was many big ones, and so throughout, let me see, Chicagoland, Kyle Busch won, beating Johnson. Allstate 400, Jimmy Johnson won. That was the controversial race of the year, besides like Kyle and Junior at Richmond. But there was a tire blown every lap, so there was scheduled cautions every 10 laps in Indy. That was a boring one. The Watkins Glen we mentioned, Michigan, Edwards won, Sharpie 500, Edwards won. California, Jimmy Johnson had no competition. And then we got to Richmond, payback, so what? Bitch. Let's see. It came down to the guys trying to make the chase were Edwards and not Edwards, but Boyer and David Reagan, and Boyer ended up beating him out. But what happened with Kyle Busch and Dale Jr.?
Kyle Busch and Jr. got into the scuffling match, and Jr. spun out Kyle Busch to take over the lead.
And it made it seem like he brake checked her, like he couldn't slow down and he just got into Kyle Busch, but he planned that, you know he planned that. And that was smart thinking. Like, he could have got Kyle Busch back the next week after Richmond, but he waited to get him back in front of the fans that were disappointed at Richmond. So, even though I wasn't very happy about that, but that was a smart move. So, into the chase.
Okay, into the chase. Like I said, the three main guys were Johnson, Edwards, and Kyle Busch going to duke out for this year's 2008 champion. Are we going to have a surprise champion or not? Are we? I don't know. Going into Richmond, a guy that led 20 out of 26 races almost in points.
Going into Loudon.
Going into Loudon, he wrecked.
Kyle Busch had a miserable day. He started on the pole because there was like 11 races this year rained out, or qualifying was rained out, so it started by points numerous times.
So starting on the pole, going to chase, a .8. I mean, he had a 60.8 going into chase. He was looking good.
I want Kyle Busch to win this championship more than anything in the world at the time. And to start the chase, Kyle Busch had very big engine issues and eventually wrecked. And he was already way back in points. He won 8 races before the chase. He had such a big point lead going in the chase, he lost it all in one race.
Yep. He was back in 8th in points.
Yes. Greg Biffle ended up winning Loudon. Going to
First win of the season, by the way.
First win of the season.
And he did make the chase.
He did. Surprising.
So he's second in points now.
Yes. Behind who? Edwards or Johnson or something?
I think Edwards and Johnson was the top 2. I think he was 3rd.
So what's that line?
I'm sorry.
So going to Dover.
Dover was the extended race, but once again, guess who showed up? The fifth man. He won Dover. He's on a 2-race winning streak. But once again, for the second straight week, Kyle Busch did not have the race he wanted.
No, he did not.
Finished way back in about 42nd. And just
he blew up in this race while running in the top 5.
So
going to Kansas.
Yep.
Explain the finish at Kansas.
Oh my God.
This is the best, probably the best finish of the year.
The best finish of the year by far, I think, one of the best finishes. It was Johnson, the point leader. Edwards, the second in points.
And it was Johnson's first time reading the points all year.
Yeah. So with Kuiper struggling in the chase so far, they're practically bad with the championship. So anything goes. Jimmy Johnson had the lead going into turn 4. Kyle Busch said, I don't think so. Edwards said that.
Kyle Busch, by the way, was having engine problems again.
So he went down low and he gained so much ground on Jimmy Johnson. Passed Jimmy Johnson in turn 4 on last lap at Kansas. But backed into he ran into the wall, bounced off the wall, kept on going.
He never got out of the gas.
Not once. And Johnson went on to win this race. But the quote of the year, I think, was Edwards, saying that if he could do this on video games, now why was like.
He also had a famous quote later in the season we'll talk about. But going on to Talladega, this was a very controversial finish as well. Jimmy Johnson started way back, and he went a lap down because he just lost the draft, so his day wasn't looking very good. Later in the race, Jeff Gordon got wrecked, and then there was two big ones. The main one with the chasers, with Edwards getting in the back of Biffle and taking them all out. Biffle wrecked, Kenseth wrecked, Dale Jr., one of the best cars all day, wrecked.
So
Harvick.
That was one wild card race in the chase with almost all the chase cars wrecking.
So then the finish was Tony Stewart leading, who wrecked in practice the day before, by the way. Went to a backup car, I think. Or no, he just repaired the car, but he still. So then it came down to him and Regan Smith from Cato, New York.
And Paul Menard in third. That was his teammate.
Yes.
So what? We saw at Daytona 500, teammates could work the way to the front and win the race.
And Tony trying to get his first ever Talladega win.
So
coming to the finish.
Going to the finish, going into the turn 4, the triover. Regan Smith went under Tony. Tony went for the black, and Regan Smith crossed the line first.
Yes.
Regan Smith,
he crossed 2 lines.
He crossed two lines. They said so Regan Smith's crew chief and crew thought he won the race. So they're all claiming, wow, yeah. But then NASCAR broke it to them that they got penalized for going up underneath the other line. But as we saw in previews, that it was a close finish.
Yes.
And in my opinion, I think Regan Smith should have won that race.
Regan Smith won Talladega in our minds because Dale Jr. passed on the yellow line before he won. They didn't penalize him. NASCAR plays favorites when it comes to yellow line rules, but you gotta give it to NASCAR. If they would have said he won, people would have been like, no way. But if they didn't, they would have still been saying it. So they were in a lose-lose situation. But Tony Stewart was given his first ever Talladega win. So on to Lowe's. Jeff Burton ended up winning. Martinsville.
And let me say, actually Jeff Burton's winning those. That moved him in second in points, only 60 points back. So
Jeff Burton could win this championship.
So everyone's talking about, it's gonna be Edwards' car, and this was, as we thought, Edwards' big blow at those. Yes. He finished about 30 some on.
Yeah, he had an engine problem after his wreck at Talladega.
So we thought his championship hopes were done, and we thought Burton's championship hopes. The whole week we thought about him maybe winning the championship.
Johnson ended up finishing 6th at Lowe's. So going to Martinsville, which we didn't expect Edwards to do very good at all either. Johnson dominated. He led so much laps, and he ended up winning at Martinsville. Edwards finished 3rd, his best ever Martinsville finish. I don't know. Kyle Busch had another bad day. His championship was done by this point. Going to Atlanta, this was interesting. This race was pretty clean the whole race. Jeff Burton got involved in a wreck with Montoya, so his championship hopes took a hit. Kyle Busch had a good run. Jeff Gordon had a good run, but Jimmy Johnson struggled. He had pit problems. He went a lap down. He was just struggling. He worked all race to get his lap back. Was way back in like 15th while Edwards is dominating. Edwards ends up winning, and Johnson finishes 2nd after pitting and just flying. He went from 11th to 2nd in the last 8 laps.
And Edwards had no idea he finished 2nd when he was.
So let's reenact it. You do know who finished 2nd, right?
Who?
No, what do you say?
Oh.
Are you kidding me? Was his response? He was clueless that Johnson finished anywhere near him, and he was pretty bummed out. So going to Texas, basically the same thing. Johnson had another bad day, and Johnson actually finished about 14th, and Edwards won on fuel mileage.
So
Edwards
is not giving up. Edwards is like, you know what, Johnson, you won 2 straight championships. You know, I'm gonna take you off your throne, and I'm gonna prove to you that I can outrace you.
You need it, chill.
So that's what he did. He looked Johnson in the face and said, Johnson, you better watch out, because I'm coming.
Going to Phoenix, Johnson won. Edwards was
and Johnson looked at Edwards and said, I am the 3-time champion, or 2-time champion. You're gonna be 3-time champion, so beat it.
No one could compare to Johnson at Phoenix. He dominated.
But once again, look at we had Edwards that like it's not really good at Phoenix and stuff, and Edwards turned into he got full place finish.
Yeah,
so he kept hope. So going into Homestead, final race of the season, 140-point lead separates the first and second place finisher. Johnson, of course, leading. We got Edwards second in points. We got Biff in third in points with no chance. So top 2. I mean, Johnson needs to run to win this championship. So
he's the wreck.
He needs to stay on the track. If he stays on the track, he has a chance.
36th place finisher better would win the championship. So just to cut to the chase, Jimmy Johnson ended up finishing 14th or so. Didn't have a very good day.
And once again, Edwards won on fuel mileage.
He was slower than the pace car the last 2 laps.
He was running pace laps.
Yes.
For the last 4 laps.
So Edwards ended the season with 9 wins, Kyle Busch with 8 wins, and Johnson was 7 or 8. I don't even know.
7 wins.
7 wins. So the 3 best cars all year, only one of them would take the championship, and it was Johnson getting his 3rd straight championship. What do you think about it? Will he win more next year?
He's gonna. To be honest with you, he's the guy to beat. I mean, he proved to people over and over again that this team's for real. This team knows how to get the job done, and he's been in championship hunts every year. He's been in NASCAR, and a couple years ago, he finally realized how to win a championship, and he's not stopping. And to be honest with you, if you want to stop him, you better have one hell of a 10-race chase.
Yes. So I don't know. Next year, the chase is going to be different. It's going to have California in it. Atlanta's out of it. Talladega's going to be like the 4th to last race of the season, I think. It's going to be all over the place. So maybe Johnson may struggle with that somehow.
Maybe.
Even though he did win California. But I don't know. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. Then we're going to come back and explain the Nationwide Series and Truck Series, and then see bye-bye forever, because this is our final show.
The final journey.
This is the 3rd time we've said final show, but this is our final show, and this is why. So we'll see you later. Well, we'll see you. Just like my mom.
Like my mom drinking a bomb. If your smell makes people sick, get some speed stick.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hello? If you want some girls hitting up your phone, please use some cologne.
Welcome back to NASCAR Prediction with Luke and Bob. Okay, we apologize for that little rated R frozen notification.
Yes, that was awkward.
Okay, well, we're back in action. And we'll be talking about, we just went through...
And we smell good, by the way.
Yeah, you do smell good. What kind of cologne do you have?
Malone.
Oh. Okay, anyway, we went through the NASCAR Cup, and as you know...
The Sprint Cup.
The Sprint Cup. As you know, Johnson is a 3-time champion. Next year, he's going before. So, now we're going to be talking about the Nationwide and the Truck Championship.
Yes.
Well, the Truck Championship was exciting.
Oh,
Bob?
I will go ahead. The whole Truck Championship came down to, it was just a good race all season between Johnny Benson and Ryan Hornaday. His guy was Mike Skinner. He didn't have a very good year like he did last year. My guy was Ryan Hornaday. He had a very good year. Came down to them. Every race, the points were close. came down to Homestead, 3 points. 3 points separating these two going into Homestead. They both wrecked at Phoenix. So, Homestead was crazy. Johnny Benson didn't have as good a truck as Ryan Hornaday, but he stayed out on a pit stop or caution and was leading, and they were 4 wide with Kyle Busch and Harvick trying to help Hornaday. They were all over the damn place. And it came down to a green-white checker or something, like a very short finish. Ryan Hornaday pitted and Johnny Benson didn't, and Hornaday was too far back to catch up. He was 1 car behind him. If there was 1 more lap, Hornaday won the championship, but there wasn't, so Johnny Benson is the 2008 NASCAR Truck Series champion. Next year will be the Camping World Series. So on to the Nationwide Series.
Okay, I got this. I had Clint Bowyer. He had Edwards.
Yes.
Edwards dominated the season last season in the Nationwide Series, and Edwards, lost the NASCAR Cup or the Sprint Cup championship by only 69 points. So, maybe, just maybe, he could get at least 1 championship. Well,
remember, there's no chases in these series.
Yeah. Well, Clint Bowyer, he led most of the season.
Basically all.
Basically all the season.
Only 1 win.
The first 10 races or something, as you remember, the top 3 guys to win the championship was Clint Bowyer, was Edwards, and was Kyle Busch. But Kyle Busch decided not to run the full season midway.
What was he thinking?
So, but anyway, it came down to Kyle and Edwards. Once again, oh my God! Once again, it was Edwards and Bowyer battling for the championship. But Bowyer had a big lead. But just like the Sprint Cup, Edwards did not give up.
He did not.
Edwards went a little rampage and gained about 180 points within 3 or 4 races.
He won the last 3 races of the year.
So going into Homestead, the points is about 50 points, and the only thing Bowyer had to do was get a top 9 finish to win the championship. And Edwards had to win and lead the most laps. Well, it was a good race. Edwards dominated the race. And won the race. And Bowyer, most of the race was around 8th, 9th, 10th in the danger zone.
It was even tied for a lot of the race.
There was some ties, and if it was a tie, Edwards would get the championship because he has more wins. But it came down to 1 restart during the other race. Bowyer had his teammates behind him.
That's all he needed.
Bowyer finished about 5th in the race. So Clint Bowyer is the 2008 Nationwide champion.
Yes.
But the reason Bowyer won the championship, and the only reason, was Phoenix. It was a good race for most of the part, but Clint Bowyer got into a wreck.
On a restart.
He was 2nd in points for some of Phoenix, during the race and stuff.
Edwards won.
And Edwards was winning and stuff, but somehow, some way, Clint Bowyer had the fight into him.
Went from 33rd with a beat-up race car
to
finish
4th. And he had probably one of the fastest cars on the track at the end of the race. And that was a turning point. If he would have finished any worse than 7th, Edwards would have won this championship.
So, I don't know. So it's crazy that the 2 best championship races were the ones without a chase in them. Yeah. So that doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
But every year we seem to have record-breaking years and stuff. This year was a memorable year for one driver and one driver only. Broke the record or tied the record or something.
With Cal Yarborough.
That too, with Jimmy Johnson with 3 straight, Kyle Busch.
Yeah, I think he tied.
I think he broke the record, but he tied the Busch Race record, or the Nationwide record. But Kyle Busch broke the record of the most wins in a single season in all 3 series.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's so many different things.
But
I won 21 races this year in all 3 series.
But Kyle Busch tied the Nationwide championship or Nationwide series tied with the most wins
in a season.
He almost won Homestead.
How many did he win? 9, 10, 11, something like that. He tied Sam Ard. He gave Sam Ard $100,000 after he won Atlanta, or whatever race he won, just so we could help him out a little bit because he wasn't feeling too good. That's a true guy right there. So on to our points. Me and Josh, our final season ever picking. My championship picks were Jimmy Johnson, Tony Stewart, Dale Jr. He had Jeff Gordon, Matt Kenseth, Garrett Busch. Johnson ended up winning the championship. That's some points for me. Let's see. So let's just run down to the top 12 in the Cup points. Jimmy Johnson, Edwards, Biffle, Harvick, Myers, Burton, Gordon, Hamlin, Tony, Kyle, Kenseth, Jr. Go back and watch this tape and slow it down so you can see what I'm saying. Rookie of the Year, Regan Smith. Nationwide Championship, he had Boyer, he got it. Truck Series Championship, I had the Hornaday, I didn't get it. And that's about it. Our season was a lot different this year, not that it really matters to you folks, which is us. But after all our points and picking and everything, the championship came down to me, winning by 1,213 points. After usually coming down to 1 point, but our championship points were different this year. So, what are you going to give me?
A blowjob.
I knew you were going to say that. No. He doesn't have a house, so I don't know what I'm going to get. So, I don't know. So that was the 2008 season. It's over.
Yeah. But we've been doing the show for 3.5 years. I think about that. We've been doing the show for a long time. We got one more surprise for you. It's a 50-minute long video.
It's very long.
Of the overview of the season.
It's longer than most of our shows combined into each other.
So after this obnoxious little showing we had of this show that we most of the time don't know what we're talking about, you're gonna see the real action on TV.
You didn't even need this show.
Yeah, you didn't really need this show, but some miscue was.
Oh yes.
There was one miscue during the season. It was Edwards one Pocono, but Donnie, the owner.
Oh yes.
He was a little wasted one time and he forgot to tape the race. Yes. So we had to reenact it with a
good old NASCAR
PS2 game.
Yes. So we had to go and race and try to win and have it nice and have it angles nice and put the song on it. So when you see all this real action and then see a video game, don't be surprised because we effed up. so that's what you're gonna see next. So
it's a last show.
Because it's a last show because we're not even gonna be picking next year. We're not gonna be doing ESPN. We're not gonna be doing shows. We're not gonna be doing openings.
We're just be regular NASCAR fans.
Just regular NASCAR fans. They have no life.
Regular NASCAR fans hoping that our guy wins championships.
My guy Kyle Busch.
My guy Jeff Gordon.
Gordon ended up finishing 7th in points. He should have been 6th because he always finishes 6th. Sorry. Kyle Busch ended up 10th. But at least he's in the award ceremony. Dale Jr. and who? Denny Hamlin? I read it so damn fast I don't remember what I said. Dale Jr. finished 12th in points. And Matt Kenseth, he knew he wasn't going to make it.
Yeah, he knew damn well that he wasn't going to be even close to winning the championship.
Matt Kenseth, he doesn't believe in that he's going to die someday because he doesn't believe in anything.
He knew he wasn't going to New York.
Oh, he knew it.
He knew it. So when he finished 11th, there was
He should have been like, I can't believe we didn't finish 12th.
Yeah.
That's what he's going to say at the
But going into the next season, there was only 2 drivers in the whole circuit that made the chase all years, and they were Jimmy Johnson and Matt Kenseth.
Matt Kenseth doesn't belong in the chase after this year, and Johnson belongs in the Hall of Fame. So, I don't know.
So, what do you think? What do you think about Johnson maybe going for 4-peat next season?
I think it's very good. Let's since we won't be picking, my prediction for next year's championship will come down to Edwards and Johnson again. That could be wrong, but I think they're the best of the best. Kyle Busch is going to be there too because he learned that what his problem was why he didn't win the championship mainly because he didn't keep up with himself. He was so far out there winning all these races that his team didn't keep.
He got a little too cocky.
Yeah, he's like, oh, we don't like. And his team is basically like, we don't need to improve our cars because we're already winning.
And I think next year it's gonna come down to Johnson and someone else. I like you're saying Johnson and Edwards. I mean, who knows? It might be Johnson and Edwards, but that was as he's known. Every year it's always Johnson and someone else. Championship. So I just think that Johnson will be better than someone else with the championship. It won't be Edwards. I just think
could be Biffle.
It could be Biffle. It could be Denny Hamlin.
Joey Logano, the rookie.
And how about the breaking news? Mark Martin it's gonna be 100 car next season.
And the 5 car that Casey Mears sucked at.
So,
But hold on, there's one more piece of news we didn't mention. Winless drivers of the year: Kevin Harvick, Matt Kenseth, and Jeff Gordon. All did not win a race this year. Jeff Gordon he hasn't done that in 14 years. I was 3 years old last time he did that. That's crazy.
And now we're doing shows that 3-year-olds won't even watch.
We wouldn't even. I don't. So that's it. We're dragging this on. So we will see you never.
Nothing. By the time I'm gonna clean myself up.
Please. So this is it. The final lap. We went from the Bob and Josh show, the Josh and Bob show, the final lap with Luke and Bob, the NASCAR 06.
The slogan was Bobby jamming on his guitar.
Rocking like a superstar. That wasn't a part of it, but I
and
threw it in there.
something that Bob doesn't know yet that we're doing, or Bob's gonna do, is I got one more surprise for you that Bob doesn't even know yet. Well, we're doing one more music video of all the shows combined.
One more of those things.
One more of those things.
Okay.
Bob, that's the first time I broke the news, Bob. Actually, I just thought of it just now.
First time he broke his news to himself.
So, after the NASCAR video,
Oh, it's not little.
we're going to do a little memory
Yes.
of the 2000s.
I don't know when this is going to occur, but eventually.
Yeah.
So this is it. We're dragging on, so we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
We won't see you.
We won't see you. See you until never.
One more song. The Mean Kitty song. We got one more song to play for you to end the show. And Bob's gonna play it right now. He's gonna be playing it. Here we go. I dedicate the song to Dave Baby. Because he's a cat call.
About 2 months back, he was the nicest little kitty.
Now I'm paying him, I correct?
This little kitty is a ninja, always stomping my feet. This little kitty is a warrior.
You know what I mean.
He's an evil little kitty.
We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Tries to get in trouble and